This podcast is a republic, not a democracy.
Can we maybe get that turned into like a Monopoly? Specifically the board game. I don't know how to play it.
Do you play with free parking or not?
I beat Maya once, and then I've refused to ever play it again.
Oh, that's classic. Yeah, you went out on top. I love that.
She hates it.
All right. I think we're going to start with our normal introductions this season. This is a gimmick for Season 12. Player name, character, deal, your fit check, and your magic items. Because that is going to be the story. Unless you all start doing something completely wacky and wild that I cannot even begin to dream of. That's going to be the kind of plot of the season, is your magic items.
That means I actually have to pay attention and track them and stuff.
You certainly do. I'm Austin Yorsky, by the way. I'm sure that was clear from the previous episodes, but I guess I should say that just to set the tone and set an example. Patreon.com/Austin Yorsky is where you can get the bonus show Spew Punk, as well as Spit in My Mouth, Please, or Simp, as we're calling it now. Comedy self-discovery show. There's all kinds of fun things. It's just $1 to support the show and get your name, in the annals of history. I also recently had my first $50 pledge for someone to help design an NPC for a future season, which I'm very excited about. So you can get on that. There's a Discord in the description. You know how you can find me. You know what it is. Come on.
Ooh, is that going to be then a spooky season NPC? Or I guess your side, potentially.
Yeah, it's going to be on my side against your spooky player character.
Wonderful. How beautiful. Austin, do you have any magic items by any chance?
Oh, I've got all kinds of magic items. I've got a whole notebook full of them here. I got a specific notebook for this season with a picture of a sloth on it.
I'm thinking more specifically, you, Austin the person. Do you have any magical items?
Yes, but I'm not going to tell you about them, obviously, because then you'll know my secrets and weaknesses.
Damn. Okay, well, I'll go next. We'll switch it up this week. Hi, I'm Dan. Not a content creator. Don't look for me anywhere. This year, I am playing Rex Maximus, class dragon, race dragon. It's all third-party stuff. He's kind of
Were you going to say speed dragon, AZ dragon? Okay, I thought so.
I was trying to find a way to extend that to at least one more dragon, but I couldn't.
Alignment dragon.
Yeah, I mean that's about accurate. Anyway, he's a little asshole. He believes he's the coolest guy around because he is, and he loves proving himself to be the biggest, baddest dude in town. Fit check. We'll come back to that in a second. Current items. I have an anvil, a bottle of instant steam, because we haven't fully really deduced what the magical potion bottle that instantly boiled wine is. So that's the only thing I can write down for the moment. And upgrading from last season, I got a nuke. And yeah, that's my current inventory.
Yeah, you have Naveneral's disc, which is the nuke, which is a forbidden item. It's red in your inventory, so there may be consequences for that we will discuss. And also, this is important, that at the end of the last episode, Hop relinquished the Steam bottle to you.
I thought it was I assumed it was being handed back to me. I have it in my inventory still. I thought it was being given back.
Well, whatever was faffing about trying to figure out, where's the carbuncle? Where's the carbuncle? It could be inside of this. Rex just took it and started pouring it out and doing
stuff with it. I guess I have even fewer items now. Cool, love that for me.
Oh, the sibling bickering's already starting. This is important. If there's any disagreement this season, we do have to hash it out because it might be important who has it.
You did steal it from his mother, so if anything, I think in a court of law he might have a higher claim.
Possibly. I have failed like 3 rolls in a row to get magic items, so I had very few of them, but you know what? If you want to hold the stolen contraband, be my guest, I suppose.
I think if you asked him for it, he would hand it back. He just hasn't relinquished it because he isn't thinking about it or caring that much.
Okay, no, you have it. It's fine. I'll talk about myself now. Fun fact, because I'm the middle child, I'm never going to have to introduce myself first. Fuck you. I'm Laura. I go by Laura K. Buzz on the internet. I am playing Doc Hop, who has a sort of dragonborn humanoid form, a bunch of small folk tat as a horde. I guess if I don't have the spooky magic blue bottle, my hoard, my stuff I currently have on me includes a trash bag of holding, an out-of-date pop-up book of goblin history, and a toothbrush which wasn't established to necessarily have magical powers, but I do have it.
It's your emotional support toothbrush.
Yeah. Also, you were asking about real-world magical items, and this is a great opportunity to mention my moon goddess crystal, which I bring up every now and then. There was a woman called Bethia used to send me emails telling me I was the reincarnation of the Archangel Michael. I ended up, not through her, she offered to sell me a mystical moon crystal to activate my powers. I may have found one on AliExpress for a couple of quid and sent her an email talking about how the universe had brought one to me without me having to purchase it. What a wonderful miracle it was. That's my magic item IRL.
Who killed Michael?
I don't know.
Yeah, for you to be the reincarnation.
Look, I never got those answers, but I did find out that I was the reincarnation of the Archangel Michael and the Moon Goddess. And I have the power to control the tides, so don't mess with me.
I don't know if I told this story on the podcast. I do have a shelf full of my various taxidermied items, crystals, fossils, etc. And one of my fiance's friends came over and was pointing at it, going, "Oh, what's this? What's this? What's this?" And then they pointed at an urn and said, "What's that?" And I had to go, "My dad."
Jesus.
We're off to an incredible start. The energy in this call was really fucked up, and I love it.
Hey, yeah, I'm Quinn, and you can find me on the internet at RoloT. I'm on Blue Sky RoloT, and this season I'm playing DiCaprio Devereaux, Dragon Wizard, Fashionista, oldest child, all sorts of things for a fit check. We are currently about to go to her mom's place, so I figured DiCaprio needed to be prepared for that, but also look stylish, so... this is, I believe, Zendaya at the Met Gala in sort of like a suit of armor, disguised as like a fancy dress. So I think that's a little bit of a level. And then as for the items I have on me, I have my zipper that brings to my sort of at-will costume rack to give everyone a disguise. I also have in my inventory the trapezoidal three-dimensional little guy.
I will never regret anything as much as not remembering the word trapezohedron. Come on. I fucked up so bad.
Trapezoidal. And then I also got an amphora from the previous arc that I have called Pandora's Amphora, because it causes great fear when you look inside of it.
Now, both Laura and I declined to give a fit check. I did so intentionally because I suspect DiCaprio, already on edge, going to her mother's house. Is she dressing us against our will to be in top shape? Because that's what I assumed would be happening.
I assume that if there is any level of that happening, it's happening all the time. And if that's not going on, then she is not doing anything special here, because this is not like meeting her mom. She's more of the lines of saying, don't make a scene, because I am not dealing with my mom. I will leave your asses here if you cause a scene.
Yeah, we should jump into character and get that conversation with the three of you flying from Sycorax's Acropolis to Desdemona's mountain, which I will describe momentarily. But you three dragon form flying through the air. What's that conversation like? Also, I'm not sure, Rex, did you say that you have your signet ring? Because that's also important.
Oh, yes. I have a magical signet ring. I was looking at my notes here, which I don't have that down since I only kept, stuff that I was getting in it. Magical signet ring, which allows him to impose his will upon the world, which means he is ignoring any toughness or resistance when he hits an inanimate object to shatter it. He's Kool-Aid Manning things. He's breaking stuff.
Perfect. So three of you on your way, flying through the beautiful clear blue air, 2,000 mountain peaks below you, different splendoring colors. It's a beautiful day. How are you all feeling, talking about what's going on there?
DiCaprio is at the front. She is flying further ahead than everyone else. Not like a distance, but she is very clearly taking a lead here and trying to almost force a fast pace from everyone else. And it is a little clear that she is like, I mean, it's no secret that DiCaprio is not a fan of her mom. It was even brought up when they met her dad. That's like, there's bad blood between the two. But it is very clear that she is trying to get this over with as quick as possible.
So when we get there, we should all really take our time with this one, mate, because the carbuncle's got to be here, so we got to stay here until we find it, right?
That is absolutely not the situation we're in. We're in to find out what this bottle does, and then if it's not in there, we open up the trapezoidal thingy and see what happens. That is all we can do.
Yeah, to go over where it currently stands, we determined at the end of the last episode that the carbuncle was at Rex's mother's place last, meaning it can't be at Sycorax, or what was her name? Desdemona's layers, which indicates that it's probably inside of this jar. Or not the jar, the trapezoidal little guy. On that topic, Rex is going to point out, hey, if it's inside of the little guy here, and there's maybe also a big bad monster inside of it, how do we let it out without it getting scared by, I don't know, a Balrog?
Perhaps I could craft an illusion that will make the carbuncle think it's somewhere safe, and we deal with the monster before the carbuncle's any the wiser. I can essentially, at my strongest, alter a person's sense of reality to an extent that they might not even realize anything's going wrong.
Yeah, works for me.
But, I need both of you to make this a quick endeavor. We get in, we find someone, no shenanigans.
Rex will nod and say, your mom collects perfect things, right? And he shudders a little bit and goes, I don't want to be put into her collection. I'm too beautiful.
I don't think there's any worry about that happening.
Darling, you have a great many flaws. You'll never make it in my mom's collection.
A perfect segue. You see in the distance Desdemona's mountain. It is a very short forested peak. Unlike the last two places you went, where it was kind of you started at the bottom and had to work your way up. This time you actually see a thoroughly forested ring around the base of the mountain, which you know to be an elven village where Desdemona's small folk are. And it seems like the inhabitants here are basically concentrated at the base of the mountain. So this isn't news to you, but it's I would say a marked contrast from the previous places, from most of the way dragons conduct themselves. And I will put a image here I'm gonna put this in the Discord. Desdemona is a diamond dragon. Her body looks like a frilled lizard, which is a huge kind of the way that the Dilophosaurus looks in the first Jurassic Park movie with that neck membrane. But imagine it being made of diamonds and reflecting the sun.
So in like the human form, is it one of those big neck tutus?
Well, you'll find out. But when she is dragon form, she looks like this basically, but with every ray of light that touches her exploding into a 360 rainbow of beauty and splendor.
I decided, Austin's been doing all these like, hey, this person's dragon looks like this cool lizard, and I feel bad that I'm like, my dragon's just a dragon, so I just typed what's the most beautiful lizard, and I was told it's the ornate Uromassix.
I don't think those are technically considered even lizards.
Well, Dan, you have to argue with Google. Why would it possibly be wrong?
I mean, it is a beautiful reptile for sure.
No, it's a lizard, it says.
Because I know Uromastics are like a weird offshoot, I think.
It's on a list of most colorful reptiles in the world, so could be a lizard, could be something else. It looks like a lizard.
Oh, they come in a wide variety of patterns here, but I think the one that everyone's really excited about is the one that kind of looks like it's under Predator's heat vision, but all the time.
There's also the classic fancy leopard gecko.
Mm-hmm. I actually had a leopard gecko planned, but yeah, this is just this season we're going to deal with basically there are 14 major named dragons, and it would be a little confusing if they were all just like dragon. So I'm trying to give you a couple of different
Papa
ways to remember
Dragon,
them.
Dragon Ball Z.
Oh fuck! Maybe Rex's dragon form has to look like a leopard gecko. I had one for 16 years, and he was the most
Whoa.
bloodthirsty creature I've ever met.
That's incredible. Yeah, leopard gecko is free. I had one planned, and then I changed my mind at the last minute. So it's free real estate.
Yeah,
if you
fuck
want
it. Speedy the leopard gecko lives on.
All right, so presumably you all land a distance away, turn into your human forms, and can start walking up. You can feel eyes on you immediately before you even see an elf visually, but the elven eyes can see far.
Rex is dressed now in a toga and a set of laurels that he stole from this the last Grecian area we were in.
Grecian, of course, being the default human aesthetic.
How long do I have to spend wearing the knot from the trash clothes? They're really itchy and uncomfortable. Like, they've not been worn in.
Stop scratching yourself. People here don't scratch themselves. They don't have rashes.
Well, if I was wearing comfortable clothes, I wouldn't have a rash right now, would I?
But you would smell.
You should give togas a try. This works pretty good. There's nothing under here.
Just free cloaca. Just let it out.
I think we should look for somebody to speak to right now. I think that's DiCaprio's main thought. I don't know if she knows somebody amongst the small folk who might be good to know what this bottle is all about, but I think that's like her first thought is like, find somebody, get the information about this bottle. If it's not what we need, then get the fuck out of here and deal with the trapezoidal thingy.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Can I get a perception check as you approach the Elven Village? This is a montane ecosystem is what this is called. Basically, that's an alpine mountain climate. So very beautiful. The trees are kind of further away together than like in a traditional elf, I would say, like tableau. But everything's still very bright and green and manicured. The closer you get, the more uncanny it is, where every tree is like perfectly shaped and manicured.
5.
14.
Are we all doing perception? 12.
The group fails. So as you approach, you try to detect elves in the trees, or hiding up further along the mountain, and you do not see any before a series of arrows plop at your feet, like in a line, as if to prove a point. Basically, 1, 2, 3 arrows in almost like perfect rhythm thump into the ground in front of you.
Rex is gonna bend down, pick one up, and start picking his teeth with it absentmindedly.
Perfect. That sounds like an intimidation.
16.
All right, yeah, that passes. I think so whoever shot that is at least intrigued enough to not immediately fire on you. And if you take a step forward, picking your teeth, no more arrows are forthcoming. So with the intimidation success, I will say they're not going to shoot anymore. You have received their warning and accepted.
I think Rex is so used to like being in dragon form, having arrows shot at him, he doesn't remember to clock the fact that he's like in a squishy human mode right now. So it's just like, oh, arrows, yeah, it's just another day at the office, whatever.
Is this normal here? Is this how you expect to be greeted?
That's how people normally greet me.
I'm not popular around these parts, but they may not necessarily know it's me. I just don't assume Dez's company really wants many visitors.
You're saying this as you approach the Elven Village. It has a very beautiful manicured like hedge maze entrance. So there's like a big wrought iron gate, flawlessly polished, shining in the sun. But behind that there is like a manicured hedge maze, the likes of which don't seem particularly possible to maintain with the technology level you're aware of. So that's something. And as you approach, 3 archers just seemingly out of nowhere just kind of melt into existence as if had been invisible or something, and now they're in front of you. And one of them just says, "Halt."
Ah, yes, darling. You must be able to help us, and we're just looking for some quick information about an item, then we'll be on our way.
This isn't a library. Move along.
Yes, but I believe you all have the knowledge we're looking for, and I believe Dez's small folk are known for their intense, incredible knowledge, are they not?
You speak so casually of Mother. You should watch yourself.
Am I wrong, though?
The elves regard you. They see Hop's kind of disheveled appearance, Rex's very macho kind of bullshit whole thing, and Desdemona, or not Desdemona, DiCaprio. Would you say you're looking flawless at this point? Is there a role to be flawless?
No, she just is. Also, I have prestidigitation. Everything looks perfect. What are you talking about? Come on now. I do think, I mean, it is intentional that I think DiCaprio, when she is in her human form, would probably be considered close to flawless, and it is partially why she tends to favor that form over her dragon form, which to her mother had a very distinct and clear flaw to it.
Can I get a performance check from anyone who is trying to carry themselves with glamour befitting Desdemona the Diamond Dragon?
I'll try,
I'll do that too.
but I don't know how good I'd be at it.
21.
What's the roll, sorry?
Performance?
Performance. 14?
The group fails. I will say these three elven archers, they are not dressed in like rags, like they are like, scrappy people of the land who are like eating squirrels to survive. They actually have really elegant clothes on. They seem to be completely unscratched, unmarred, undirtied whatsoever. In fact, you would guess that their equipment is stuff that was rejected from Desdemona's hoard. So it's like, the legendary bow of the most famous archer from this nation, but it has a scratch on it. So it's like powerful and extremely valuable, but just not what she's looking for. And these three people just kind of square up as if to block the gate and say, "This the mother isn't home right now, so this is inappropriate. You need to leave."
So I want to cast a spell. I want to cast silent image to create essentially like sort of like a fog around us, and use this fog as an opportunity to attach my zipper to something, reach in and find outfits that would be considered perfect for Mother or for Desdemona's attention to try to get us through this.
No, I like the
I have to wear a second non-trash outfit? Ugh.
Silent image. You create the image of an object, creature, or some other visible phenomenon no larger than a 15-foot cube. You can use this action to cause the image to move to any spot. This makes sense. Physical interaction reveals the image to be an illusion. Yeah, your ability or your special magic item of the zipper gives you access to your closet. So I think if you want to do this, it makes sense. I'm going to roll this investigation check suggested by the spell just to see what the elves think of this. 7. They don't think much.
Are they not impressed though? Like, not only are we going to come out looking flawless, well, two of us will now be flawless, but it was also like a performance of like smoke, mystery. Like it's like a grand performance like moment. Like all we need is like pyros going off.
I could provide that. I could light the henchmaids on fire.
With their 7, they fail pretty miserably to not be overawed by this. So yeah, it's like you walk up to the club and they're like, "Sorry, we have a dress code," and you do a fucking like Power Rangers transformation. Yeah.
By the time the smoke is gone, I've just about managed to stuff our old outfits in the trash bag of holding. They're out of sight.
So all three of you beautifully transform into your Sailor Moon, your Sailor Senshi outfits, and the elves are startled, and they look at you over and they say, "Well, I mean, that certainly was a flawless transformation. Information, you say? Perhaps there could be something of value here. Are you planning to wait for Mother to return?"
We're looking for somebody of your folk, actually, who might be able to help us with identifying the purpose of an item.
Oh, okay. I guess that's okay if you don't need to bother Mother. We're gonna keep.
We wouldn't dream of bothering her.
Okay, we're gonna keep an eye on you though. They step out of your way, and you can see running across the top of the hedge maze more archers as they like melt back and disappear into the scenery, jumping from tree to tree here along this very large village that seems to ring all the way around the bottom of the mountain.
I can see why you don't like coming here. The small folk are so aggressive, and it's not welcoming at all. I assume this is the entire reason you don't like coming here.
Actually, I don't mind this part of it. It shows that her mother, Des, rather has a bit of a good relationship with her small folk, and that they keep her area safe. It shows some level of appreciation for them. I just don't care for
The hedge maze, right? It's keeping you from getting from point A to point B faster.
You're correct, Rex. I hate hedge mazes. I don't know my cardinal directions, and I forgot I can fly.
I'm picturing Desdemona somewhere with a locket around her neck. She opens to look at the pictures inside and like sighs wistfully. It's just hundreds of elves and not you at all.
100%. Or it's just a picture of herself.
Yeah, that's exactly the vibe I'm going for. So you all can start entering the small folk village. Can I actually get survival checks to not get lost? Because no one's going to help you, even if you are visibly, obviously lost.
Well, we should already know our directions because we should be perfect.
10.
Also 10.
20.
Okay, well, the group, I needed a 15 to get out of here easily. With a 10, you fail, but you don't get eaten by the...
Can Quinn
I got a 20!
Can Quinn give one of us, 5? So that
Yeah,
it's a 15
I have
and a
enough
15.
to spare.
That's not how it works. Do you really want to get... Okay, no, sorry, the whole episode's with the hedge maze now, you fucking dorks. Is that what you want?
No, we wanted the opposite of that. We wanted to breeze through.
Rex is going to start walking in a straight line through the walls.
Oh my gosh. Okay, with a 10, a 10, and a 20, you fail, and so there's going to be a scene of you walking in here, talking aimlessly before you get out. Nothing bad happens to you, but that's what's going on. That's the flavor.
Yeah, DiCaprio is just going to kind of look at everything and just she has visible reactions. Because I imagine this hedge maze, it isn't just big and impressive. I imagine it is sort of flawlessly pruned. There is nothing out of place in this. And I imagine she is looking at this and almost giving she's not giving a visible disgusted impression because she knows eyes are on her right now, but she's definitely kind of looking at it ugh, really? Come on.
Every one of the 30+ statues of your mother is impeccably clean.
Yeah.
I was going to say, every time you see an elf wandering around, they are either pruning a hedge or something, or they are polishing a statue and constantly casting prestidigitation on themselves, which cleans all dirt and scratches and debris. They're just like as if it's a religious mantra, crossing themselves. They just do it every 30 seconds.
Every morning when she brushes her hair, they go out and redo all the hedge sculptures of her because she brushed it slightly differently today. We've got to update it.
Yeah, she has a middle part today. It was a side part yesterday,
Yeah.
so we gotta redo the statues.
100%. But yeah, you see also just you go down the wrong path here and you see there's a whole garden inside and all of the plants are exactly the same height. They're exactly the same distance apart from each other. It's everything's done with a eerie perfection.
This is a question to ask then. Is there a lot of what you would call biodiversity in how her garden is structured, do you think? Or is this somebody who has curated it specifically to be well, I think these 2 or 3 plants are actually the only perfect ones, so those are the only kind I'll even take care of.
Yeah, that could say something about her characterization, definitely. I was thinking that there's nothing that avant-garde. There's not any Rafflesia or pitcher plants or anything. It's red roses, white roses, sunflowers, a couple of very commonly accepted to be beautiful flowers.
Yeah.
Are her gardeners going out and plucking excess leaves so everyone has the same amount or something? Or they're all even numbers or shit like that?
Probably, yeah. I don't know how much time you spend getting into the details there, but there seems to be a constant background radiation of elves busying themselves with little tasks like that.
Oh, this is like an Animal Crossing garden. Like every flower is exactly the same distance apart from one another. They all have the exact same color and height to them, everything like that.
Last time I promised Animal Crossing, I got in trouble because of the horrendous evil violence that was wrought. So I'm excited about that comparison. Yeah, this is Animal Crossing Village.
I cast Meteor Storm.
All right, this is where. Do you have a backup character, Quinn?
Yeah, her name is Schmicapio Schmeverow. She's a schmashin designer, and it's gonna be real good.
Perfect. All right. Well, what are you all talking about as you exit the maze? You're almost there.
So is it just like no traps or I don't know, like a big boulder that comes down, just a hedge maze?
No, I don't really believe Desdemona's the type for traps or anything like that. She's a bit more elegant, I suppose. Trashy, some might say.
It is really hard to keep track of where I am in here when I keep seeing your mother everywhere. I keep thinking I'm going in circles.
I know. That nose. Ugh.
As you turn the corner to exit the hedge maze, you run immediately into an elf who is waiting for you. But I should paint the picture behind them, because as you exit, you see what is Desdemona's lair, an enormous crater in the side of the mountain. Basically, if you took like a melon baller and scooped out half of the side of the mountain, but this was not visible from before because of the tree cover. So it's kind of like it's hidden almost within the canopy of the forestry around this mountain. So you can see where she lives, but before you get there, there's just a whole village of tree houses all along the path to get there, where there has to be at least 1,000 elves living.
So there's like a butler, I guess, here to meet us. It's you said.
There's an elf here who's just suddenly appeared around the corner. You didn't hear him like walk up or anything, and he is dressed in a very fine coat. You assumed that had almost made the grade to be in Desdemona's collection. I've never seen an elf with a mustache, but this guy has a mustache. I'm sorry, he just does. And he sees you emerge from the maze and says, "Are you the three who are looking for some information?"
Yeah, that about covers it. What's this? And he's just gonna kind of like underhand toss the bottle at the guy.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll catch the bottle and look at it and say, I suppose you're expecting this identification service for free? Desdemona usually accepts payment in the form of perfect things.
Rex will turn to the two of them and go, Do you two have like, I don't know, like a perfect snowflake on you or something?
Hop is going to start getting out the toothbrush and then notice the disapproving looks and put it away.
Quinn, what is this horrible monster you put in our Discord?
I just typed elf with mustache, and I forget that elf usually doesn't actually mean fantasy elf. People were thinking like fucking Santa elves. This was the first result that popped up, so I just needed to share it. I believe this is some character in the Elf in the Shelf universe with a giant mustache.
Or you could just take like a World of Warcraft elf, because they have those really long fucking eyebrows, and just shift those down a couple inches.
I wish this elf was in hell. Elf in health. I hate this guy's face. It's very bad.
I don't have like a cool little throwaway thing, do I?
And I suppose it's out of the question to be like, that's my mother you're talking about, because that would mean she'd find out you came here for help.
And also, we are not on good... I have to assume that if it is known that I am here, that it is a problem.
You reckon that the elves know that you're on bad terms? Is that the case?
I assume it passed down at some point. News trickled down.
If Rick sees his siblings struggling to come up with something, he'll sigh and go, have to do everything myself. I'm a master dwarven-trained blacksmith. I could provide a service, I suppose.
Oh yeah, the butler elf, I guess, the elf butler. I didn't know that's who this was until you said that. Now, it says, "Oh, that perhaps could yield something perfect. It's a high bar, but how long would that take? Is this a layaway plan you're suggesting?"
Rex will say, "Look, I've got the time to do it. I just need to finish my current task, and then I can, I don't know, make a circlet or something. What do you people like here?
Who is you people?
You know, Desdemona's small folk and the Horde and whatnot. I'm seeing a lot of statues and hedge mazes. I don't really know what else you're taking here."
Yes, that is our beautiful, supportive mother. Why? Were you talking shit? I may be a butler, but I'll throw hands.
No, it's just a lot of statues. I don't know what horde you have here based off of hedge mazes.
I am sure my compatriot here would be able to construct an absolutely perfect anklet that Desdemona would love to add to her collection.
Would you mind terribly if I had this deal struck under Zone of Truth?
Rex just sort of like dismissively like waves his hand in like an affirmative gesture. Like, come on, get on with it. I'm not getting any younger, even though he's going to outlive everyone here.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that, I think, in the downtime scenes, but it's going to be a question of how many years in between arcs is something we're going to have to decide on. So yeah, if you agree to say under Zone of Truth that you are going to bring Desdemona something perfect, then the elves will look at the bottle. That's all you're giving them is the blue bottle?
And we have this, and I'm assuming DiCaprio now has like a cunty little purse that she has the trapezoidal little guy in.
The cuntiest, yeah.
And it's just like kind of sticking out of it like one of those little like a little Pomeranian or Chihuahua.
Like a little dog, yeah.
Oh my, how cunty.
And he'll go, yeah, it's like, I don't know, some kind of high-level imprisonment thing. We're actually here on a job for another dragon. We have to get something out of it, but there may or may not be something bad inside of it. No, technically, I wasn't really paying attention. DiCaprio Hop, you wanna jump in here?
We know that this is an imprisonment spell, but we're just looking to see if there's anything to help us identify maybe what's inside and perhaps selectively remove things that have been added to it without unleashing it all at once.
The elf looks at it, sees the infernal writing on the side, and says, "This appears to be a tad more dangerous. We will have to discuss further payment."
2 anklets.
I've got this toothbrush. I've got this pop-up book of goblin history. It's very in date.
Can I get a persuasion check?
Sure. If I crit, will the toothbrush work?
I don't want to promise anything until I see the dice.
Come on. Oh, 22 out of 23 would have been a crit. It was 1 off the crit.
22 is excellent. The elf will take the trapezohedron and look at it, and then we'll come back and we'll talk to you more. In the meantime, he says, why don't you stay in the visitors gallery? You can look at Desdemona's collection while you wait for us to perform our survey of the items, and we'll get back to you. Perhaps you can see something missing from her collection that you could craft. Master craftsman, he says, slightly condescendingly. Majorly condescendingly.
I was gonna say, I don't think it's slightly.
Yeah, I'm not sure Rex even clocks that and goes, yes, I am a master craftsman. He'll also say, be careful with that. There's a couple of best friends in there.
There sure are. All right. The elf takes the bottle and the trapezohedron and is going to go to another building inside of a tree with some other elves to look at it, to cast spells on it. And you 3 are directed to basically a large tree that's been hollowed out. And inside you see, these aren't the finest pieces in the collection. These are like the ones that, visitors could see. But Desdemona has them behind glass, each one perfectly optimized for like the sun to come in to show how radiant everything is. She has a jade comb, a bronze mirror, a set of earrings, one being a sun and one being a moon, and she has what appears to be a moonstone necklace in this room. That's the collection that you have been where you've been left to wait.
I was going to say, I just want to note, DiCaprio is going to look to whatever attendant or somebody who's around here and just motion like, would we be able to get a drink while we browse? That seems like that would create the perfect viewing experience, would it not?
Exactly. I would say that you don't see any visible guards or elves around or anything. You're just like looking at a display case and you just say that seemingly to nobody. And an elf just walks into the room with a tray of drinks.
Perfect.
Almost inexplicably. You knew that was to happen. You grew up here and you could even go check on your childhood, hatchery if you want. But that's just to show you they're actually everywhere. You don't see anybody watching you, but a dozen people are watching you at any given moment.
I think I could get to my old room from here. Like, they wouldn't have an issue if I went to go check that out, or am I going to have to sneak through people to get to that?
I would say you would be observed, but I don't think anybody would attack you or anything. It's not unless you're trying to steal something, then we need to roll dice. No. But
yeah, I think she would to some extent do that, as she silently keeps all of her criticisms to herself right now, and it is she needs the drink because it is killing her. Not to loudly critique everything she has seen.
Yeah, tell me all about that. About this room, your room, the three of you. What are you doing and talking about?
Yeah, would Hop and Rex follow, or are they gonna check out the
Oh, Hop is 100% following purely out of I don't want to do something and mess up, and I feel like if I'm in your line of sight, I'm less likely to mess up.
I think Rex is taken. I'm going to assume this is some sort of wine or champagne. He's not drinking it. He's just constantly swirling it because he's seen people do that. This was mostly accessories, right? A lot of fancy combs and earrings. I think you said in this room.
Correct.
Is there anything that indicates the earrings of King Flazzlegut or whatever?
There isn't a plaque or anything. I think if you rolled history, that could be something we could discuss.
Sure. Rex will give it a cursory glance because he's aware that some there might be the cool queen earrings or whatever. Maybe that's something he cares about. But he might not. So let's see. 18.
Yeah, with 18, I can tell you something about one of the items if you would like to know.
Can I get the list again?
There's a jade comb, a bronze mirror, a set of earrings, and a necklace.
Let's go with the cool earrings. I think you said that one was a sun and the other was a moon.
Correct. This is a set of sun and moon earrings that venerated the god Sayanine Moonbow. From the Elven pantheon, that god has been slain, but those earrings were worn by an Eladrin champion whose name is echoed through history. That legend has come down to you. You know that these earrings are lousy with magic. If you wore them, you'd be so cool and powerful.
Mm-hmm. I think Rex gets that itch to. Well, that'd be cool to have here. But also, he did just agree to make something for this person, and they have the cool little guy. So I think he has to at least restrain himself for a minute. And now he wants to go fuck around in his sister's bedroom.
Okay. But yeah, I will say that all the items, using that one as a contrast point, you would assume all of these magic items have some benefit if you wanted to get a little nuts and steal something. That's always on the table. As I'm just gonna say, there's 14 dragon hordes that we're gonna visit this season is my plan.
Yeah. I think DiCaprio wants to see what her old room is like. Not because she has nostalgia for it. I imagine there's actually a lot of pain for her in it, but I think she's actually very curious to see what her mother has done with her room at this point. Because it was not a happy party. I assume this is probably the first time she has ever returned to her mother's domain since this or since she stole something and left.
We've, I think, only hinted at that. It might be on your character sheet as well if people read those when they're posted. But yeah, there's some backstory here that we haven't addressed directly. I was going to ask you, did you have anything in mind for what you wanted? Because I could definitely see you go to visit your old room and it's just a workshop now. It's been completely destroyed. There's nothing left of it. Or if you want something more like moderate.
I mean, I think that is what DiCaprio is expecting. I think when she is going, she is like, oh, she turned it into a workout room or something like that. Like she just expects that it's been replaced or something like that.
A hot yoga studio. Yeah, I think here's my knee jerk reaction. It doesn't have to be what it is, but I think it's like, oh, this has been turned into a suite for her highest ranking elf. And that elf has like a framed picture of Desdemona on the.
Yeah.
It's just like, Heart, me and mom hanging out. It's just completely fucked up.
Rex is gonna whisper to Hop and go, "Do you think she had a perfect race car bed?"
Well, I don't know how it looked before, but for someone who's apparently likes perfection, it's not looking too perfect to me. I bet you had it better.
DiCaprio is kind of silent as she looks in at this. Like she's kind of peeking out through, I imagine, some sunglasses, looking around. And then she definitely hears what Hop says. And there's just kind of a quietness. And then she just kind of chugs the rest of her wine. Not chugs, but like, you ever see when somebody takes a drink and they're very clearly using it to like cope through something and they just drink the whole thing in like one concentrated burst? She like does that and then holds the glass out and just kind of drops it as if it would shatter, but she knows somebody will catch it before it will.
When she does that, Rex will then just kind of, without even really looking towards her, just hold out his still undrank glass of wine. Assuming that she's going to want that too.
Absolutely. She's taking that too. And then going back to the museum, she doesn't say anything, but she doesn't seem to like want to linger here, but she will say, "Thank you, Hop. It was nicer back then."
Hop does very sincerely mean that. This is way too not lived in. This is not perfection.
You try to throw your glass on the floor, and Elf Misty steps like under it, doing a sliding catch, and then you just walk away, leaving them like face down on the floor.
Oh yeah, I'll step over them.
Okay,
if it's an option.
Perfect. And then you just hear them just say, "That was a close one. Mother's floors would have been besmirched."
Perfect timing as always.
Oh no, can't have a space lived in.
I don't really get it, DiCaprio.
Get what?
These sort of gestures, perfect thing.
What do you think is beautiful, Rex?
I think he kind of shrugs and says, "I don't really know much about beauty, but when I learned how to smith from the dwarves, I came to understand at least a couple things that small folk care about. Or rather, there's no, like, how would I put it? He's gonna point to like a perfectly manicured like sword on the wall, and say, "Yeah, this is well maintained, but it's obviously also never been used. How can it be perfect if it's never fulfilled a single purpose?"
See, for once, me and you might actually agree on something here. 'Cause that's the thing. I get the beauty of perfection, but that's where I differ on this. Is like something beautiful behind a cabinet where you could never touch it is so much less beautiful than a thing that has been used and has a story, you know?
It's like those stupid Gladys Accords. 1,000 perfect copies of an item don't mean anything.
I agree. Flaws are often what make things beautiful.
So what we're all saying is, my hoard is the best.
It's not the worst. I'll say that.
Oh, honestly, with you two, I'll take that. I'll take
That
the
is... I think that is DiCaprio's way of complimenting you in this moment.
DiCaprio Devereaux, can I get a charisma saving throw?
No.
Damn, I didn't see that coming. Fuck.
She got you, Austin.
17.
Okay, so you return with your siblings to go to the room you were left in after checking in on your childhood bedroom, which has been given to an elf. And for a moment, you feel some kind of longing. You remember that coin that kobold had, and you held it for a moment, and it felt weirdly heavy in your hand, and you ran your fingers over the engravings, and man, you just wish you could remember what it looked like. You really want to look at it.
Can I have minor illusion as a cantrip. Can I just cast a cantrip that looks like the coin?
You can, if you cast an illusion, and looks like a coin. It's just a coin. It doesn't satisfy the same, or just like, holding a stick and pretending it's a cigarette. It's no,
Oh, that worked for young Quinn quite well.
Yeah, but I imagine it works less well when you've had a cigarette.
I mean, I never had adamantium claws, but young Quinn did shove many markers between her fingers and really felt like she knew what it was like. So, I mean...
With the 17, you're able to push the thought out of your mind, but I'll just say, as you're standing in front of these glass cases with the earrings and the other items around you, you just what did it look like again? If you had it, you could look at it again, and that would really satisfy.
Hop, are you done with that drink?
Yes. And Hop looks for a place to put it down carefully.
DiCaprio's just gonna grab it out of your hand.
You told me to be behaved here, and to not be a bad representative or whatever. I'm trying to do what you said.
Oh no, she's taking it because she's going to drink it.
Okay.
She's very clearly trying to cope with this situation through alcohol at this moment.
Oh, Hop has finished hers, unfortunately.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
Rex is looking at the comb, the jade comb, and just thinking, dragons don't even have hair. Why does she have this?
I don't think there is a less utilitarian dragon in the whole Cookie Mountains here than Desdemona.
It's not often about the use of the item, it is simply about the fact that it is considered perfect. There are no flaws in Desdemona's collection.
Can we try to investigate these other items?
Absolutely, yeah. Roll me investigation.
Sure.
May I join in?
I would.
I'll come join in.
Terrifying. 21.
3.
6.
Oh dear.
It was barely not a botch.
Yeah, so the group fails, so I'll say you wander around this building inside this tree. You see all the items here. You can walk next door to the other gallery that's in an adjoining tree. There's plenty of stuff to do, to look at least, maybe not do. And you find one collection which seems to be under construction. There's a scaffolding, there are some elves in there sanding something, pounding away with hammers, and there's some almost like a construction scene. And because you fail, when you try to get a peek inside, 3 people come out of the shadows and block your way and say, hey, this is off limits, we're still building this exhibit. Go back and wait where we left you.
Oh, I apologize. I thought this was sort of like a perfect tour sort of thing. I'm sorry, I didn't realize there was an imperfection here.
Oh, yes. All of us, of course, fall short of Mother's perfection. You can rub it in if you'd like, but we're all very happy, so it's going to kind of roll right off my back. No sweat.
What is it?
Fuck you.
Ooh, big man.
Now, that doesn't seem like a good way to be speaking to your guests.
These elves seem weirdly aggressive. I don't know if you can try to look past their shoulder. You see something's going on inside this tree. With your rolls, 3 and 6 are just not good enough, but at least it's been flagged that something's going on. I will say that In addition to the kind of outer layer that all dragons have, they have an inner layer. You took a peek at Rosalind's. Rex, at the beginning of episode 3, I think, you went like into the caldera and looked behind like a lava fall. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we discussed how you went to Sycorax's hoard, but you didn't go into the inner sanctum where all of the encode thoughts strands were kept. So let's just say there's like multiple layers to Layer. There are multiple layers to each layer, Lair. Sorry about the English fucking language.
Ooh, can I... I've got another spell slot, I think. Yeah, I have a second one. Can I quietly cast Unseen Servant again and have them go snoop around?
Yeah, they're unseen, so kind of an ideal little sentry here. Why don't you read that out?
I gotta reopen it quick. I was like, I'm gonna cast it, and then I closed the tab and forgot what I was doing. It creates an invisible, mindless, shapeless force that can perform simple tasks at my command. Can't attack. I can mentally command it to move, interact with objects, perform simple tasks that a human servant could do, such as fetching things, cleaning, mending, folding clothes, etc. I'm going to assume that includes, if I present a pad of paper, write something down.
With a simple task, it could go do something in the other area. The question is whether or not it is like bumped into. So can I get, because it's invisible, a stealth with advantage to see if this works?
Sure.
So it sounds like the three of you kind of exit the construction area, go back to the gallery you're supposed to be at, and there hopcast Unseen Servant as a ritual.
Oh, the command is just to draw exactly what's in the room.
Yeah, just give me a perfect sketch of what's going on in there. 16.
Yeah, 16's good. I was looking for a 15. I will say that it's supposed to be simple command, so it can't give you like a photo accurate sketch.
Okay, give me something like higher than what like a 4-year-old could do. Give me like an 8 or 9-year-old's sketch of what's happening.
A 720p sketch.
So the Unseen Servant goes and follows its simple command, which is to scout out the construction area while the three of you wait. And I will tell you what it brings back in a moment. Is there any discussion in character or any actions in character you do? Because it's like, a couple minutes before it gets back.
So are we gonna open up the box here and, I don't know, I guess obliterate that village, or what's the plan here?
I believe we'll have to find somewhere just uninhabited within the Cookie Mountains. If we start a fight here, it will bring Desdemona's down on us. I can't imagine if we're in our full forms fighting this sort of thing, that it gives us any room to have plausible deniability. After all, I can't imagine 3 dragons show up to this place too commonly.
This actually is, I guess, an important question. I think you indicated previously, Austin, that potentially Desdemona and Orlando have kind of mended fences over the centuries since their divorce. Maybe this is just something I can decide at this point. Has Rex actually met this lady before?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately that'll be up to you. My assumption is you know her casually. Like, she's around, but you're not like close.
Okay, she's not coming over for tea with his mom.
Unless you're interested in that, my assumption would be that this is a person you see like once a year, maybe. It's like casual, you know them, like you wouldn't. They're not a stranger, but you don't have an existing rapport that you need to be aware of.
Because what comes to mind, it's not completely and similar, not completely similar. Is I remember hearing a mob wife talk about how she would just like go out to lunch with her husband's, I think the term is goma, like his side woman, and like they would just plan and schedule things together. And I wonder if that was kind of the vibe. Like this lady would just be having, I guess it wouldn't be tea, it would just be eating a guy with his mother, Auntie Desmona or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know how deep you want to get all into this right now. Maybe this is something we can talk about in character later. But I think like dragons are extremely territorial, long-lived creatures, and I just don't think they have like a culture of monogamy the way humans do. I think it's just like, yeah, it's hard enough to stay married to someone for like 60 years, let alone 2,000. I think it's like pretty normal for adult dragons to go through periods of partnership and then dissolve that. It's not weird. So
Except apparently Sycorax has ended real badly.
yeah, that's a fun wrinkle that we can talk about. But
yeah, Rex will again just sort of say like, you can do it at my house.
You want to have a gigantic fight at your house? What am I saying? Of course you do. You understand there's unknown danger potentially inside. There could be damage to your domain.
Yeah, but that's just more encouragement to overcome the danger, because that's it, conquering, and that's what like royals do. Am I understanding your thing right?
Yep, and when I hang whatever, I don't know, demon skeleton from the rafters, I can point to the scars on the ground and say, he did that. And then I did that to him.
all right, at this point, the unseen servant comes back, and they have marked on probably a piece of vellum, not like a modern piece of computer paper, but they have sketched, perhaps with a piece of charcoal, a magical sigil of some sort. It is clearly it means something, but you would need to roll to know what. I think religion.
Religion. 18.
Damn, Hop. You've been rolling pretty poorly, but you've nailed the last couple. So you send your unseen servant on this scouting mission. It comes back and gives you exactly what you wanted to know. I wanted a 15. You gave me an 18.
I'm doing well on rolls finally. Again, because I was told I had to be on my best behavior, I gotta pull my A game out here.
So this sigil, you've seen it before, probably in texts. I don't know. You can tell me if you've seen it in real life. But it is the magical foundation for an eidolon.
What are those, Austin? I know of them as summons in the Final Fantasy universe sometimes.
Eidolons are basically vessels for like divine power. They are kind of an easiest way to think of them is they are both undead and construct, but they are kind of like vessels that are filled up with some kind of divine will. Basically, it's a very powerful magic and usually employed by gods and godlike figures.
But powerful enough that this would be maybe one of the things we're supposed to pay attention to that aren't allowed?
Great question. So you're referring to the Gladys Accords, so it's kind of the law that all dragons agreed to about sharing items. It would probably depend on what is being bound to the eidolon. So if this was like someone put the divine spark of like the god of washing dishes, that's probably fine. But if it was like the god of war and all of his power in one vessel, that's probably not okay.
Is this like binding a piece of, I guess, an existing, like, is it trapping power potentially, like enslaving it? Or is this like she's trying to ascend into a godly position?
I will say you don't have enough information at this time, and also appears to be under construction. Whatever is going to happen has not happened yet. You're just getting, because of your great rolls, just a glimpse at something Desdemona's going to be up to in the background. But like, yeah, it's not happening right now, nor is it like 5 minutes from now.
Okay, this is if we hear that something godly has gone missing and been trapped somewhere, maybe this is place one we look.
That's stupid. The gods are dead.
Though this new world does have quite a few curiosities of its own, as I'm sure you're aware, Rex.
No, what do you mean?
The Numenon?
Blank stare.
I've sent you so many... Do you read anything I sent you?
I probably did. I don't remember.
What's reading?
Yeah, like, I don't know, big monster and lives in the ground or whatever.
This land also was made off of the sacrifice of the gods who left behind relics, so there's the potential of something there being used.
I think Rex kind of starts tapping his chin, looking off into space, thinking, I guess a god is higher up than a king. Things to muse on.
Uh-huh.
Wait till I blow your mind, Rex, and tell you there used to be somebody called the God King.
Well, that feels redundant. Pick one.
Pick a struggle, Wolfram.
I think DiCaprio is going to kind of mentally take note of this. She's very intrigued, but she knows she really can't investigate this in any way right now that doesn't instigate something. But she is definitely filing this information away for later. She does not know, obviously, that a doomsday device of any kind was found in Rosalind's collection. But in her mind, she is delighted if she could find any opportunity to disgrace and embarrass her mother.
Oh god, I'm now wondering if all three of the mums somewhere have some doomsday level thing and we only found one of the three.
Yeah, probably.
We never went into Sycorax's inner sanctum. She might have had some fucked up shit in there. She was torturing a man.
With that, on that note, if there's nothing else you want to say or do, the elf will return. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so on that note, you kind of mused to yourself, maybe Sycorax was doing something fucked up that you didn't look at. The elf returns, and I think probably has the bottle in one container and the trapezohedron in another. It's like holding them each on like luxurious velvet pillows as he returns.
Did you get the best friends out?
I'm afraid I haven't gotten anyone out, as you say. We need to consider our options at this point. I convened a council of wizards. We have conducted an investigation, and I'm ready to present our findings.
Well, hopefully there's an option where we get all the positives and none of the negatives. That would be the perfect solution to this.
Yes. I've never heard any wordplay of this nature before. It's very refreshing. Thank you.
Why doesn't the little guy eat the pillow?
This is our special anti-magic pillow.
Is it also perfect? If so, does there being two of them mean one is more perfect than the other?
No, the goose down feathers inside have slightly pokey ends, so quite imperfect. In fact, which would you like to know about first, the blue bottle or the trapezohedron?
The goose down.
The goose down is so very soft.
Tell us about the bottles. The bottle, goddammit.
Yes, this bottle is quite cursed. Luckily, it is not a contagious curse that can be acquired by touching it. As you'll see, another elf appears as if from nowhere and touches the bottle repeatedly to demonstrate that that's not how you get cursed by it. And the butler elf says, it appears that the curse is already linked to an individual, and that is their problem. But as far as you all need to be concerned, this curse is not upon any of you. Is that helpful?
Can you
What
tell us
is
what
the curse?
Yeah, can you tell us what the curse is?
It appears to be a linking curse that is trying to draw the affected individual inside to entrap them.
Even now, when there's no one nearby, it's still trying to pull this cursed individual in?
Yes, quite strange. How long have you had it? I don't know how far away the individual would be, or it doesn't seem like they could go very far if they wanted to, and yet, here we are.
Rex is gonna look around the room and see if there's somebody like looking around a corner.
Yeah, it's very strange. The elf says, this bottle has quite a magical effect on it. Whoever cast it must be powerful, and whoever being affected is quite powerful. So there's probably leverage here for whoever possesses it, but there's nobody currently imprisoned inside.
And it doesn't like water.
Anything inside is overwhelmed by heat and moisture and is expelled as steam. Yes.
We didn't see like a guy getting dragged by a vortex into this, right?
None of you saw that now.
We did not. If someone is eternally being pulled into this thing, but are powerful enough to resist it, then it seems to imply it is a powerful individual and probably not the one we're concerned with, if I'm understanding our target correctly.
That appears to be the case. Would you like this bottle back? Which one of you should I hand it to?
Hop is gonna take it back.
All right, here's your steam bottle. Now on to the trapezohedron.
Little guy.
Oh, I believe it actually is called the trapezoidal 3D, 3-dimensional little guy.
I don't think that's correct. I think it's actually the shining trapezohedron.
That's weird because I have always been told it was the trapezoidal 3-dimensional little guy.
Actually, I think
That's
you
what
should
is,
maybe touch it. I think you should put your hand on it right now. That's what I think.
I think it'd be real funny if you grinded your face against it.
There's a lot of perfect dickheads around here.
Two elves come in and hold the first guy back. You're lucky they're here, bro. I fucking go crazy on you. No, I'm kidding. The elf says, I believe this strange, what appears to be a container, is actually made from the shards of a prison realm, once known as Tartarus. Like much of the spheres that surrounded our reality, they have been shattered, but this is quite a impregnable prison for whoever's inside of it, and it can only be unlocked from the outside. As I believe you alluded to, opening it would allow all of the horrors inside to spill forth. Is that desirable at this point? Because we can do that.
There might be a little guy in there that
Different
would...
little guy.
Different little guy that, if scared, would die, and opening it, if there's something scary in it, might be a problem. So we need a way to open this without potentially scaring maybe a little guy in there.
So this isn't the sort of prison that can be opened one cell at a time. It is kind of a hellish dimension from which no joy can enter or escape. I do have one suggestion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perhaps we could, well, there's the spell imprisonment that it currently runs across its every surface. There is an opposite spell, freedom, but we wouldn't know the target. So, if the option of busting this wide open and unleashing everything at once doesn't suit, my only alternative would be to fire the freedom spell into it one at a time, releasing who knows what piecemeal to be dealt with individually.
I mean, that definitely sounds better than letting it all out at once. Because if it's bad things in there, we can at least, we're not going to get outnumbered by bad things.
And we definitely can't go inside of it and just jump the big thing, right?
Anything entering the trapezohedron would become suspended in the imprisonment spell, where all energy ceases to operate, all biological processes become completely in stasis.
Understood. If we enter into the trapezoidal 3-dimensional little guy, then we will go into stasis.
Yes, you will cease to be a factor.
In the trapezoidal 3-dimensional little guy.
You'll have to turn in your character sheet, as they say.
Okay, so DiCaprio is going to say, give me just a moment if I could speak with my compatriots.
Of course.
She is going to say, we could take this option, but we don't know which order they're going to come out in, and if we get fortunate, this could work out great. However, if it is the dangerous thing, we would have to instigate a fight right here, which could end up with some blowback towards all three of us. If we do the way to just open everything up at once, if I'm in my dragon form, I can cast a spell to create a safekeeping for the carbuncle, so we can protect it from seeing us and being frightened to death. But we will have to fight whatever horrible thing is inside.
What if? And Rex is whispering here, and then kind of looking over to DiCaprio's shoulder, and then looking back to her. What if we just kidnap that guy, go to my lair, have him open it up one at a time, and I guess return him afterwards?
She's like, well, do you have an idea how to subtly kidnap this person and bring them to your lair?
Oh, subtle? No.
Okay, well, then I don't know if this is an option if we're trying to avoid instigating something larger out of this.
Can we just leave a note that says, did this for Orlando? Dad said it was okay?
Perhaps that's something to consider if we're going to open it up here. Maybe we wait till the order first before we write a confession note.
Could we... I'd hate to do this, because it involves asking a small folk for permission. You could just ask him to come with us.
Oh.
And Rex kind of like throws up in his mouth a little bit.
I mean, we could make the suggestion that we wouldn't want to risk anything here becoming imperfect.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like it might work.
Yeah, DiCaprio will be like, is there an option to ensure that the Lady Desdemona's domain remains flawless and without blemish if we led you out of the city and then perhaps took your suggestion?
The elf says, well, I have many duties here. We couldn't go very far. I need to be back as soon as possible.
Sure, it wouldn't be an issue so long as we could be a safe enough distance to ensure that if the first thing out is the most dangerous, that your good mother's beautiful, perfect home would not be damaged in any way.
Of course. And there's the matter of further payment. We discussed your master smith crafting something worthy of Mother's collection for our surveying of the blue bottle. Now that I have determined the trapezohedron is a very interesting artifact, perhaps even a perfect prison, if you would like my help extracting your friend or whatever, I would ask that you allow Mother to keep the 3D little guy.
Interesting. So you would get yourself quite an item for Desdemona's hoard, then?
All in a day's work for a faithful son.
True. But, this is just an idea. Just gonna float it out there. What if, in return, we could get a chance to explore the under-construction area of Desdemona? We would be quite curious to see what even a sneak preview of her perfection looks like.
I'm afraid that's quite out of my hands, but I can pass the request along to Mother when she returns.
I mean, I'm in favor of us not having the 3D little guy, because I am paranoid I'm going to accidentally touch that thing. I'm going to put my hand in my bag to be like, oh, get my little book of goblin facts out. Oh, I touched the thing. So I'm on team get rid of it.
Actually, hold on. Rex will have to say, I'm not comfortable handing this over at all. This is my mother's.
Well, yeah, but then the end result of that is two mums get upset at each other. It's not our problem at that point.
You stole it from my mother.
Well, yeah. And now I won't be the one who's blamed for stealing it if someone else has it.
And some would say that your mother stole Orlando from Sycorax. So who knows?
Well, hey, I don't get involved in that argument. I stay well and clear of it. I mean, I'm fine with her, with DiCaprio just, doing her spells or whatever. She's good at that.
Yeah, I think instinctually DiCaprio is very nervous about the idea of giving giving Desdemona access to like a perfect prison, even though a lot of her stuff seems to like very rarely, if ever, get used. It just gives her like a shitty feeling. So if no one's going to strongly argue in favor of it, I think she is going to be like, I think we know what to do. Thank you so much for your time, but I think we can handle it ourselves.
Wonderful. It's been meeting you. I've met you. You've been met.
You wouldn't say it was perfect.
Let me show you the way out.
Thank you. If I might give you a piece of advice.
You may not.
I've had more polite meetings with strangers.
The wine was a little too earthy, by the way.
It's the wine that makes you behave. It's a delicacy in this region.
Ugh.
Jesus.
Well, it's clearly not very good wine that makes you behave.
Yeah. Unless this is the Austin Powers, like, oh, behave, like that kind of.
That's a very similar brand. It has like tildes on the label, so you can tell the difference, but they're often confused.
Yeah.
I think Rex is just gonna look at this guy and go, "Your face is asymmetrical," and just start walking away.
Oh my gosh, making no friends here. All right, so the carbuncle arc is coming to an end. You have done a 3-episode investigation. You have all your facts. What do you do to solve this problem and make your father proud?
Wait, hold on. DiCaprio has imprison as a spell, right?
I do. It requires an item that's very expensive to do it, though.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, what if we let everything out and then immediately imprison the carbuncle again to keep it safe?
We talked about that. It takes a minute to cast as well.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm also not concerned with the carbuncle because I can. I'm just going to read you a feature of the illusionist wizard. At level 14, I get illusory reality, and when I cast an illusion spell with the spell slot, I can choose one inanimate, non-magical object that is part of that illusion and make that object real. And I could basically just put a safe box around the carbuncle.
Air holes, please. Remember the air holes.
Sure. The air holes will look like delicious lollipops or some shit. I don't know. It'll look perfect. For the carbuncle, this will seem like a perfectly safe time. Everything else will seem dangerous as we're fighting around it.
Yeah. Rex is perfectly happy with just taking us back to his lair and then beating up whatever comes out.
Sure, let's go for it.
Can we... This is just an alternative idea, and I'm sure Austin will have a good reason why this won't work. Is there not a reason we can't just bring this back to Orlando to do this plan?
You could bring it to him and say the carbuncle's in here, and he would say, "Can you get it out for me?"
Sure. I'm mostly just of the mind. It's like, hey, if this shit goes down, and like I get the carbuncle, because there's one danger to this plan, is that any illusion I cast is concentration. So if I take really high damage or something like that, it could get broken, it would go away. So my thought is like, can I cast this illusion? Dad snatches up the carbuncle, gets it somewhere safe, and then we just have a fight with this thing.
Well, the other thing is we don't know for a fact the carbuncle is in there, and if we brought it to Dad and we opened it up and there was something very dangerous and not a carbuncle, that would not reflect well on us.
And it killed the last woolly mammoth. That would be pretty rough.
Yeah, I think you picture the scenario in your head, DiCaprio, and it's like you saying, "Hey, Dad, the carbuncle's in here," and just him giving you the like most disapproving look, or it's just like, "Yeah, lazy shit, get a job. Fucking come on, stop wasting my time."
Lazy
Like,
shit. We robbed 3 hordes to get this.
listen, he's a 3,000-year-old disciplinarian.
Oh wow!
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he drinks a lot of the wine that makes you behave. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he'd be shitty about it. It'd be like if he was like, "Hey, can you build a deck for me?" And you went to the Home Depot, you got boards, nails, and a hammer, and then brought that back to him. And he'd be like, "Yeah, nice, continue, finish the deck."
All right, fine. Then I guess we're heading to Rex's place.
Yeah, Can Rex pre-set himself on fire for when he... I guess maybe not, because it might ignite the carbuncle. That'd be rough.
You all can do whatever you want. This is like the climax of the first arc. So paint me the full picture of what goes on here.
Yeah, I think we show up at Rex's lair. Let's see. Yeah, you did a little bit of ad-libbing about what it was in the premise chat where you wrote it out. Rex's lair is a mountaintop castle, but it on the side of a cliff. But it doesn't really look like how a castle should, because he has very clearly ripped towers off of existing castles of various varieties, brought it to this cliffside, and then just used his breath weapon to melt the stone together.
Yeah, I think you said to me that your lair is a castle made of castles, and so I think I said something. I think I might have just said castle lair in the chat, but that you know what I mean.
Yeah, so he's got this like her almost like cartoonish mishmash of different castles strewn together, and I'm assuming he probably touches down like outside of it, because he's not going to release this inside of his house and just break it down. He's going to have to rob 6 more castles to repair it then. Just the surrounding area, and he I guess he doesn't transform. He just stays in his big dragon form and is like, all right, get ready, let's do this, and he starts doing his stretches.
So your big castle made of castles is in the background, like Dracula's mansion on the mountain, and you're on like the misty moors below. That's like the setup.
Yeah, I'd say so. You can see like all of the various times like someone has gotten the stones to go after him, and their like incinerated bodies are on the ground, but just their moldering armor, melted slag, maybe some like gouges in the rock from something he's fought there, or like prey he's been hunting for fun. I think there's very few, if any, small folk around here. Like almost none.
Yeah, next episode should be the downtime where we talk about all of your layers and small folks. So this is a little preview. Last thing I want to say before we continue setting the scene is that the sun is beginning to set behind your castle. The festivities for the bicentennial celebration are about to start. That was like the deadline. That's what your parents have all been up to instead of helping with this, is they're getting that ready. So you have a very short window to get this all done perfectly.
All right, let's do it. DiCaprio is going to instruct her 2 siblings. So once we open it, I would prefer if you didn't look my way.
We all got naked in front of you like, I don't know, 3 days ago at your mom's house.
It's less about that, darling. It's just, I won't be able to keep up some of the glamours that I try to do when I'm in my dragon form. A lot of the focus will be on making sure the carbuncle is safe. You understand, right?
Look, for your comfort, I will do my best, but also I'm sure you'll look even more beautiful than usual.
Very kind. Do not look at me.
Okay.
Hop, you can look at me. It's going to be very impressive.
Hell yeah.
I am counting tremendously on the both of you, and I know you will do splendidly.
Rex, did you say several days ago at your mom's house? That was like less than an hour ago.
He has no concept of human time.
That's what I thought. That's why I was going to check in, because, yeah.
Does Rex have concept of dragon time? Like, what does that mean?
Well, he's still not really. He counts the days by like how many kingdoms he topples.
Okay, gotcha. So it's been a slow week for him.
I was going to say, I think like the base dragon unit of time is like seasons.
Okay.
Like the way we think of like hours. But Hop, what are you doing physically right now?
I think Hop is getting transformed ready and looking through notes to remember what her own things she can do are. Being like, right, what do I know how to do? I don't think about the dragon the stuff enough. Okay, yeah, I've got options. Psych herself up.
In her dragon form, does she also have a giant dingy tweed coat?
Oh yes, 1000%.
Made of smaller coats.
Yes.
I will, before this starts, cast mage armor on myself to give myself not dog shit AC.
Yeah. And I'll activate my Corona of Flames.
All right, so for the audience, this is going to be a level 20 encounter. All three of you are fully dragoned.
Yep.
Yeah, I should note DiCaprio in her full dragon form, she normally looks like a splendid flawless diamond, but if anyone does look, she is very clearly not a flawless diamond dragon. Sure, her like scales are very cloudy and dirty.
All right, a diamond dragon, a steel dragon, and a red dragon all surrounding
Walk into a bar.
Yeah, this tiny, like human palm-sized trapezohedron. What do you do?
Actually, Rex is gonna, I guess, like try to position it so because we're at the bottom of this cliff, right? He wants to corner whatever is gonna come out of this against the wall. So he's gonna position himself in between the two of them, just so he can basically charge whatever's gonna come out straight into it. And then, yeah, it's, I guess, up to DiCaprio to pop out the little guy.
Yeah, I guess am I casting Dispel Magic to open it up?
Yep, you have to cast it at 9th level, so you have to blow your biggest spell slot on it.
That's fine. I'm perfectly happy to do that. And to note, I am preparing then to also cast Major Illusion immediately after, once I see the carbuncle. So it will be protected in a box that looks like a happy, like child's adventure playland, which I assume, in her mind, she just assumes this thing's like an infant and just needs like an infant's entertainment. Like it's gonna be like Coco Melon inside.
Apparently the Coco Melon's doing irreparable damage to babies' brains.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's the reason they don't read, apparently.
Okay, so DiCaprio, you cast Dispel Magic. What does that look like? What's your spell casting focus again?
It's a portfolio of all of my fashion. So she has some signature pose that she has connected to Dispel Magic. Whatever JoJo pose you want to imagine it's that. She has like a pose and an outfit all like coordinated to it, and she replicates that pose as she's like sort of flips open her spell book, which is again just like a portfolio of these photos, and she'll cast that spell, do this pose, and then immediately is like flipping to Major Illusion to be prepared to do that one.
Okay, the trapezohedron is disenchanted and bursts its bonds. The faces of the object shoot in every direction as untold horrors spill out. In fact, there are 75 things that come out of the object and begin rampaging across the moors. More than you could take in immediately. I will say, Rex, 1 initiative, so you're first up. There are just a ton of things here. What do you want to do? Because there's more than I'm not going to describe all 72, but let's just say huge demons made of flames, wings beating against the dusk of the setting sun. You see scrabbling little goblins and humans. They're the two best friends. Yes, from Sycorax's domain. They're embracing, they're hugging, but there's like just monsters you've never seen. Just like literally things beyond description, all running in every direction simultaneously.
Okay, so hold on. Let me grab one thing real quick because I need to make sure. I'm pretty sure just by the fact that they exist and start running, they're immediately getting blasted by my existing Corona of Flames.
Well, who's everyone? What are you saying?
So I am technically like a large-sized dragon, right?
Sure.
Well, I guess he's probably backed up enough because he didn't know what was going to be coming out of it, so it's not immediately incinerating them. So I'm a large-sized dragon, and then I have around him, mechanically, a 10-foot radius of flame. So I guess first thing, he has to look to see where the carbuncle is so he doesn't incinerate it. Cool. What would that require?
Yeah, that's a perception check and a very important one. If you were just like, I start attacking, that would be pretty troubling for the survival of this creature, because it has gone from being preserved in stasis to being in the middle of the stampede from Lion King.
Mm-hmm. 16.
That's good. I needed 15. So you see in the middle of this pack of creatures running in every direction, some are just fighting. Just immediately it's on site, throwing hands. Probably like an angel and a devil just, slam into each other and start shouting. Just animals running. You see the beautiful carbuncle, basically a little furry armadillo-like creature with a little red gem in its head. It's cowering in the middle, and you know that this is the beginning of its the way that possums play dead. This is like a fainting goat kind of instinct they have. Is if they're in danger, they just evaporate. They come apart and die to protect their gem.
How long does this take? Because I'm not sure. Rex can do literally anything to not scare this creature.
Hop might be able to do something.
Okay, then I'm gonna leave that to the more reasonable sisters, and Rex is gonna start cleaning up all the various monsters in the area. So he's gonna move away from the carbuncle, so his raging inferno that is his body just starts incinerating things. I do again from my signature item ignore resistances, so hopefully that'll punch through some of the any fire resistance these demons and devils may have.
So with your 16, you can see the carbuncle and point it out to your party members. I will say when it becomes NPC's turn, I'm gonna just roll to see if carbuncle dies. Is what's gonna happen.
I'm gonna do a roll to try and stop that roll happening.
Yeah, you come up first in the order. The order is Rex, Hop, NPCs, DiCaprio. So there will be a chance to intervene. I'm just letting you know that's what the stakes are. Thanatosis is the technical term for the death response that possums do. I was trying to remember it, and I did. Thanatosis.
What are you gonna do, Hop?
Is it my turn now, or are you just asking?
I'm just asking so I can determine if I'm just gonna try to...
My plan is to use mass suggestion to target the carbuncle and whatever the nearest batch of creatures is, and use my mass suggestion to do something to the effect of stay where you are and relax.
Okay.
In order to try and not only calm the carbuncle, but reduce the number of panicking things around the carbuncle is my hope.
Okay, works for me. Then Rex will activate his fire frenzy and then just start clearing out other demons. So I guess just start making attacks.
Well, your perception was your action. This is your
okay.
bonus. What do you have as a bonus action?
Then, if the only thing I have left is a bonus action, I'll use my Draconic Verve to get 40 bonus HP. And that's and walk over to the thickest throng of demons and stuff so my AoE will start hurting them.
I was gonna say there's one enemy unit at this point that you can perceive. We'll just call it a horde of horrors, and you can start burning at them. Is there an immediate roll for that, or is that on their turn?
On their turn, yeah. Or is active. If it ends its turn within 10 feet of me, it will take damage.
Doc Hop.
Cool. I'm casting mass suggestion on the carbuncle and whatever 11 things are nearest to it. I can pick up to 12 creatures of my choice that I can see within range and that can hear. And as long as they're not immune to being charmed, I can give a couple of sentences to magically influence what they will do. I'm going to need wisdom saving throws to see whether mass suggestion is successful.
Yeah, I'm going to say that the carbuncle as a magical creature can understand you, because a limitation of the spell is that the targets do need to understand you. So
okay, well, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
I think there is a world where I'm just the carbuncle does not speak Draconic, but it's magic, and maybe your dad taught it a little bit. Just the way parrots can recognize a couple words.
Yeah.
All right, wisdom saving throw?
Yeah.
15.
That's not going to do it.
All right, that was for the carbuncle, and 6 for the horde of horrors. They fail as well. What is your suggestion?
Cool. My suggestion, if you'll let me do so, is stay where you are and relax.
All right. Sure. It has to be reasonable, not destructive, and I think that fits.
Yeah, and my hope is that by seeing other creatures around it also stop, like, not trying to run, not trying to phase out of existence and relax and, like, calming down, that might make it seem like a more reasonable magical suggestion. It's like, oh yeah, no, you're all calming down? Cool, I'll stop phasing out of reality for a minute.
With 75 creatures currently on the loose, 12 of them lay down in the middle of the field and try to relax. You're not out of the woods yet. Something could still attack the carbuncle or hurt it or something. So there's still danger here, but that means I'm not going to make a check to see if it dies, which was the concern.
So with my action used, can I attempt to do something like get down to where the carbuncle is and try and use myself to protect it from harm? Like, I'd ideally like to be a bit of a shield for this thing.
Sure, you can definitely try that. I think there's going to be a check because you are very large. You're a steel adult dragon, so you could potentially be kind of scary. So we're gonna have to roll something there.
Yeah, but I magically said calm.
Sure, yeah, that's just I I think we'll figure that out. But if your plan is to then fly over there and then shield the carbuncle with your whole body, that is a very endearing action, I think. So
yeah, you stay calm. You're being protected. It's a very calming thing. Maybe that's the plan.
Okay, so that's good. You can see Doc Hop shielding the carbuncle, casting the magic. Your body, I don't know if you want to say more, but you're a steel dragon, so you're kind of like a series of interlocking shield-like plates that make a very good like fortress to drop down onto an ally.
The way I'm picturing this is if I'm large enough to do so, is to maybe even have my wings be like a big tent around this 11 or 12 creatures, just being like, hey, you're all just cool under here, right?
Mm-hmm. Most of the ones that were staying in the center of this throng were like the weaker goblins, humanoids, kobolds, things like that. So they're all like, taking shelter as the larger creatures rampage. It is now NPC's turn. Can all of you make dexterity saving throws as spells and weapons zoom by your heads? Everyone's throwing shit in every direction.
4.
13.
Oh no.
18.
Only Rex is able to dodge this. I'm
not particularly dexterous, sat in one place trying to protect a static group of things.
All right, 16 damage to Doc Hop and DiCaprio as demons hurl balls of fire at you. Angels call down burning rays of light. Some kind of creature that appears to be a mass made of 10,000 alien worms squirming over you, spraying acid. There's some kind of strange humanoid thing you've never seen. It's like a completely new species to your knowledge, just runs by and flings a spell at your face. You're all just taking like chip damage from the battle raging around you. That is just the environmental ambient damage. Then I would ask you to move your attention to the Roll20, or actually to the Discord. I'm going to drop this in. Who has... here we go. Something zooms at you. It's going to hit you in the face. You think it's a spell, and then it stops and looks you in the eye.
Oh, it's like a little fairy dragon.
Yeah.
It is in fact a fairy dragon. It is about the size of a house cat, so a very small dragonoid, but its basic body shape is extremely familiar to you, but it has a hallucinogenic kaleidoscope of colors. Its wings are basically like butterfly wings, blues and greens and oranges. Extremely vivid, and it's like looking so in your face. It's like the difference in your size scales kind of makes it hard to look down your snout at this thing as it looks at you. DiCaprio, you're the one who recognized it, so it's like up in your snoot, and you're trying to like look at it, but it's so small and it's like flitting around, and it says, "Who are you?"
DiCaprio Devereaux, but I'm a bit busy at the moment.
Yeah. Have you seen my siblings?
Perhaps. I haven't got the time to really think about it right now, though, unfortunately. I've got quite a lot of issues to deal with. Perhaps I can speak with you in a moment?
What are you doing in my lair?
Unfortunately, this is not your lair. I believe you might have been taken from somewhere else.
It is now.
That's not how it works.
Sleight of hand check as the fairy dragon attempts to go into your inventory and take some objects from you.
Oh my god.
21.
It's just straight sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand, yeah, that's what I rolled. I just got an 18 plus 3.
All right, 15.
15. All right. What object would you like this fairy dragon to steal from you?
I guess my... Austin, he takes my trapezoidal three-dimensional little guy.
Nope, it exploded. It erupted and went in every direction.
Then I guess it's going to have to be my M4. I don't have anything else I could take.
Okay, so this fairy dragon just picks up with its little cat-like paws and picks up a handle of the amphora.
Would this be considered an attack?
Nope, it's just it's a steal.
Okay.
And it picks it up and says, "Thank you for holding on to my item," and tries to fly away, but it's over encumbered by the size of the item it's trying to steal.
What's your name, little one?
Cymbeline?
I shall remember that. Enjoy the gift.
Thank you.
Did I just hear someone say this was their lair?
I was gonna say, do you just let people take stuff from your hoard? Is that how you do it?
Oh no, Cymbeline will die for this. I'm making this very clear. My next downtime is about murdering Cymbeline and taking everything they own.
Incredible. So that one of the things that came out of the prison was Cymbeline the fairy dragon. Another thing that came out was a big fucking demon and the big fucking angel, and they are battling. In fact, they're both going to basically, they're not fighting you, Rex, but they're fighting each other, and you're in the way. So I'm gonna make 2 attacks on you as if they're hitting you just because of the size of the scope of their battle. 20 and 13.
Neither hit.
Fuck me. Just fuck me.
Fuck, I had something I lost. Is it bad that my immediate reaction in hearing a dragon say, "I'm looking for my siblings," is, "Did Dad cheat?"
Everything's on the table, but so Rex, you do not get hit by the angel and the demon fighting, and it is going to be DiCaprio's turn.
Hold on. They have to give me a dexterity save.
Okay. They're not the most dexterous. 13 and 21.
Oh, well, I guess if they're only a single enemy, it'd probably just be a single roll. Like, I guess
okay, yeah.
How we want to.
They're part of the horde of horrors, so 13 they fail.
Yeah. 19 damage.
All right, yeah. You just strike at them with a big dragon claw?
I'm on fire, and they are near me.
Okay, well, I think they both have resist. Oh, never mind. They don't have resistance to fire because you have your signet
I'm
ring.
T-posing on them. I'm just standing there, radiating my beautiful, magnificent body with fire in the middle of this chaos.
All right.
All right.
DiCaprio.
Yep, I'm going to do my plan. I'm going to cast a major illusion, creating a powerful box to seal around the carbuncle and use my ability to make it a real object.
With air holes.
With air holes.
All right, no dice involved in that? You can just do that?
That's just an ability I have. I can make anything that I make it to an illusion real. For a minute, so I guess that is a factor, but a minute in D&D battle time is like 20 turns, so I don't think it's a relevant thing.
Yeah, so this is like one of your because you committed to illusionist as the kind of wizard you are.
Yes, exactly. And if it's possible, I'd love to pick the box up and fly into the air, but it's probably easier just to keep it on the ground. I am going to fly into the air, though, to mitigate the number of people who could potentially interact with me.
I was going to say, don't worry, I've got a plan that could get the box away from the fighting while we finish the fight.
There we go.
Master Chief has joined the battle. He's going to finish the fight.
That's my turn.
Okay, to be clear, you make a box around the carbuncle, but you don't pick it up.
It doesn't seem like it's possible to pick it up right now.
Why is that?
The Hop is hovering over top of it.
If you want to do so, Hop can let you do so. If you think that's the right plan.
It seemed like you had something you were wanting to do with it, so if that's the case, she's more than happy to just go into the air and make sure she's less of a target.
I'll put it out on the table. My option is I have Dimension Door. I could get that box 300 feet away from here, which seems like a pretty good distance away from the fighting to have the carbuncle box.
That does seem good.
That works for me.
Yeah.
All right, yep, that's my turn then.
All right, at the end of the order, legendary action, everybody Constitution saving throw.
3.
Crit, 25.
Oh my lord.
14.
All right, some fucking asshole evil necromancer bitch on the field of battle, probably just some nerd you overlooked, casts Circle of Death.
Wait, this
I've
is
got
a spell?
something.
What level is that?
6th level necromancy.
I'm going to read something.
Uh-oh.
Hold on, I need to scroll to it. It's my capstone ability.
Here we go. This is what it's all about.
If you roll a natural 20 on a spell save, and the spell is 7th level or lower, the spell has no effect on you, and instead targets the caster using the spell slot and save DC. And attack bonus, spellcasting ability of the caster.
Okay.
Amazing.
So Circle of Death, negative energy ripples out across the battlefield. Your flesh begins to rot as necrotic vibes pulse through you. But then, Rex, how do you turn it around and turn the caster into a skeleton?
Rex keeps saying he's built different, and he spent his entire life around cursed objects as a child. I think this lich, this master of arcane necromantic powers that dedicated its entire life and unlife to curses, has not even eclipsed an ounce of his mother, like growing up in his mother's horde, and it just hits Rex and bounces off of him like a fucking ping pong ball.
Yeah, so this necromancer is dressed in like dark robes with like a skull mask on. They're wielding some ancient staff that's like bubbling with dark energies. This is like the final boss of any other campaign we've ever done, and you just accidentally wipe him out of existence, like without even really trying. 29 damage to Doc Hop and DiCaprio as the necrotic energy still hits you, but this wannabe big bad evil guy just fucking reduces himself to dust.
Nice.
Perfect. Love it.
All right, Rex, Horde of Horrors is your only sensible target at this point.
All right. I'm just gonna start. I guess I'm mainly fighting the big angel and the demon at this point. So I'll go after those two first. 3 attacks. 25, 13, and 17.
Only 25 hits?
Damn, I'm not doing so great on these basic attacks, but whatever, I'll take it. So that is 41 damage.
That's pretty good, yeah. So you just, pure claws, just start ripping people's arms and legs off?
Yeah, this would be the bite. So I think what happens is Rex, he's probably targeting, I think, the demon first because he thinks that's the more interesting combatant. Sinks his teeth into its shoulder and then just heaves with his neck and throws it into the angel.
Hell yeah. Doc Hop.
Cool. Just to be safe, Doc Hop is going to cast Dimension Door. This is a spell that allows me to teleport to a point within 300 feet of my current location. I will arrive at exactly the spot desired, and I can take a willing creature with me, which I'm going to assume my magically calmed and in a box that is Coco-Meloning it creature won't mind being taken somewhere even safer to continue following the magical command to relax.
Yep, you pick up the box at the carbuncle and you just teleport onto Rex's castle, just like you're watching the battle from above in the parapets.
Yeah, I'll try and get back to the battle after this, but this turn's priority is get the carbuncle just in a place where nothing is gonna damage the box and risk the magical calming going away.
Okay, you teleport the carbuncle away. You can put it in the tower of the castle. The castle part you're in, that is, of course, several castles all clutched together. And now it's NPC's turn. You're far away, so you're not going to dexterity saving throw. The other two of you need a dexterity saving throw, though.
The carbuncle is now in the princess tower.
Exactly, yeah. Please, my sweet princess, stay here. Bowser's going to get you.
5.
17.
All right. 27 damage to Rex. It does not hit you. This is just a volley of magic and arrows as the Horde of Horrors turns its sights on Max particularly. The dice really agreed. I thought this was the sensible thing. But seeing how much shit you're tearing up, everyone who wants to fight turns their attention to you.
Yep, no problem. I now only have 13 temp HP points.
Okay, well, a dozen fighters leap at you, claws, teeth, swords, spells. Everyone's really getting up in your grill, and suddenly you hear the pitter-patter of little wings and something fluttering in front of your snoot, and you look down, and you see a little fairy dragon, which says, "Hello, have you seen my siblings?
Depends, who are they?
Cymbeline?
And you are?
I'm Cymbeline.
They're all you?
We're the Cymbeline siblings."
You sound insufferable.
Sleight of hand contest as Cymbeline tries to take an item from your inventory.
Okay, Tootsie's currently trying to take an item from my inventory. Give me one moment.
Hell yeah, Tootsie, let's get him.
The page is not for you, Tootsie. Okay, sleight of hand. What is that? It's just a straight 1d20. Crit.
Okay, crit beats 13. So Cymbeline tries to take something from you, and you can bat her away. And she just says, "You're mean. That's my horde. Get out of my lair." And she flies away.
Can I, since this is a sleight of hand contest, can I steal the urn from her?
It's what's funny is you saw Cymbeline take an urn from DiCaprio and fly away in a different direction. This is not the same fairy dragon.
Oh God, this is insufferable.
Oh, don't worry, they're not going to be a problem for too long.
That one's mine.
I'm so glad I'm 300 feet away from this nonsense.
So the battle's raging. All the attention's on Rex Maximus right now. DiCaprio, you are large diamond dragon. Your scales look cloudier than usual because your glamours have dropped. What do you do in your turn?
God, that's the question.
While you're thinking, 2 more attacks on Rex. I assume these aren't going to hit. Crit and 18. Okay, a crit hits.
Well,
hey.
Unfortunately, reaction. Roll it again. I horde parry.
God damn it. 17. Fuck me.
Hey, you know what? You know what's the real fucked up part, Austin? One of my abilities is if you crit me, you have to flip a coin to actually crit.
What the fuck? This is messed up. All right, some extra planar thing for that. Like its angles are all wrong. You've never seen limbs. You couldn't even describe what weapon it's wielding. Tries to plunge it into your chest, and you just flick it away like it's a fucking ant.
Yeah, it's
humiliating.
It's that I think Brennelly Mulligan said this. Like if you're a really stupid character in Call of Cthulhu, you don't have like a frame of reference for these horrors beyond comprehension. So you're just going, that looks fucking weird. Whatever.
Yeah. That's the thing is like later and you'll try to recall this encounter and you won't be able to like fix its shape in your mind or describe it.
Well, to be fair, that's also how Rex feels about us small folks, so that's not too different.
Fair.
All right, I probably should have cast this spell before we even started this, but I'm going to on my turn cast the spell Crown of Stars. So I create 7 star-like motes of light that appear and orbit my head until the spell ends, and I can use a bonus action to basically fire one of these motes at something around me. So I'm going to cast this spell. I have these diamond stars floating around my character's head, giving her like a, sort of diamond halo, and she's going to fire her attack at, I guess, the demon. That seems to make the most sense. So...
Sure. 18 save.
It's not a spell save.
Oh, it's not. Well, fuck me.
It's, I botched, so it doesn't matter.
So, yeah, I mean, I think is it explode, the star you fire?
It just misses. Basically, if it had been hit, it would have taken an amount of damage, but if it misses, it just misses and goes into a wall and disappears. But I have 6 more of them, and next turn I can cast a spell and still fire one of these.
All right, as a reaction, the demon fires back at you, 28.
Interesting. As a reaction,
Oh my god.
I create an illusionary duplicate of myself that the demon tries to strike instead.
Okay, there's no save, I just miss.
Nope, you just miss, and I can. This ability actually is kind of fucked. I'm going to use a 2nd level spell slot. Crown of Stars, by the way, was a 7th level spell. I'm going to use a 2nd level spell slot to get a use of that ability back.
Okay. Fuck.
It
so
just
you
says
miss.
no action when it comes to that ability.
This is Magic the Gathering stack shit, isn't it?
It really
happening.
is.
Yeah. All right. So you miss with your attack, but then you aren't where it looks like you are, and the response misses. At the end of the order, everybody Constitution saving throw.
Does that include me?
No, you're actually away from the battlefield.
Oh, this is the easiest fight I've done in a while. This is great.
21.
Save.
9.
All right. DiCaprio, you take 30 damage, and you take 15. Maximus, as fire begins raining down from the sky. Both the angel and the demon seem to be summoning different kinds of fire, holy and infernal, respectively, and they're just burning up the heathland around the base of your mountain. This is a good thing you moved the fight here. If you'll recall, this was not my suggestion. You all just kind of decided to do this. If we had been fighting this at Desdemona's lair, her elf village would be super on fire right now.
That is a thought I had at the moment, but also I don't think Rex would have particularly cared.
But that is a consequence of that choice you made, which is clever. And we're back to Rex.
Okay, I'm still... Oh, wait, hold on. They have to take their flame corona damage, so give me a dex save.
All right. 11.
26.
26 damage?
Yep.
Good lord. All right.
All right, and now I'm going to start hitting them.
Here I go killing again.
25, 18, 25.
All those hit.
Oh, boy. Okay, give me a constitution save.
Oh. 22.
Okay, they're lucky. If they failed, they would have been stunned.
I don't think they're lucky, but tell me how much damage you do.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Hold on. He first bites them, and then he claws them, and then he horns them. Now I gotta do a lot of math real quick. Hold on. 32 plus 12.
18. Minus 7.
23
Carried the 1.
plus 7.
This is great audio. Incredible radio, yeah. 7, 15,
102
85.
damage.
Are you fucking with me?
No, it's 102 damage.
All right, Rex, paint me a picture of you killing every hostile thing left on the battlefield. You win this.
Okay, so these two keep like trying to fight each other, right? And Rex fucking hates this because he's the big man on campus here. They're in his home turf. So he comes in from above, like claws first crashing into them. I just killed a spider. That's what I'm doing to them. He grabs both of them by the heads at speed and just rams their faces into the dirt as he flies throughout this throng of people. The best friends sent flying into the the distance by this. Until eventually he like collides with the wall and like rears up on his hind legs, holding both of them. Their faces kind of stripped of skin and flesh at this point, just down to bare skulls, and roars before dropping them to the ground.
Yeah, flashback to your mom teaching you as a kid, being like, angels and demons are actually more scared of you than you are of them. You could just let them outside if they get stuck in your lair. Just, take a cup and you capture them and just let them go. And you're peeling their faces off casually.
Yeah, well, they were in my house, Austin.
Sure.
In fairness, they were in a prison, and then we brought them to your house and opened up the prison.
And you know what? They didn't just leave. If they were chill, maybe they could have. No, he would have probably fought them no matter what.
All right. So all of the hostile people can be flattened under your claws. Doc Hop, you are on the parapets of the castle watching this happen. The carbuncle is in a little box, and it crawls out and looks around, and it's so cute. It has a little sniffing little snout, like some kind of cat crossed with an armadillo, crossed with a rabbit. It is so precious and so little.
Yay!
How do you feel about that?
I think that's wonderful. And it's going to be chill and calm for a whole 24 hours, which gives us plenty of time to get it back to Dad and be like, hey, it's fine that we're flying you back. You're going to be fine. You're going to be okay.
You have succeeded in the carbuncle arc, and you're ready to go deliver it to your dad at the bicentennial celebration. Everything's looking up when you feel a kind of warm feeling behind you, like a warm breeze. Can I get a perception check, Doc Hop?
So I rolled a 3. That's real fucking bad. I'm gonna try and look. This isn't gonna make it a good roll, but try and salvage some of it. I have an ability. Let me find what it's called. One sec. Dark One's Own Luck. Once per short rest, when I make an ability check or saving throw, I can add 1d10 to my roll. I can do so after seeing the roll before the effects occur. So I'm going to try adding a d10 to that to salvage it somewhat. Fuck. Added a 2, it's a 5. I got a 5 out of 30 on my rolls.
You don't re-roll it, you just add the d10?
Let me double check. Add a d10 to your roll.
Yeah. All right, Doc Hop.
I'll re-roll the d20 if you'll let me.
Doc Hop, you fail, so you don't understand what's happening. You don't have any preemptive actions here. There's like a warm breeze coming off the battlefield below you. You assume, someone threw a fireball. Rex Maximus is toasting someone with his fire breath. But then you hear a voice next to you say, "You have my bottle."
I look around.
Actually, I should double check. You do have the bottle, right?
I do, yeah. I should have let Rex keep it.
Floating next to you, you see a 10-foot tall woman, rippling muscles.
I knew it. She was gonna be a fucking big mommy.
Her body appears to be.
Wait, hold on. Maybe can I have the bottle?
Her body appears to be made of some kind of energy. Half the back of her head is missing, and from it there is just a constant stream of scalding steam. Under her blue skin, you see pulsing red volcanic veins. Her presence is just a source of heat to you. It's unmistakable that this person is a very powerful elemental, and in fact, probably some kind of genie, the most powerful of all elementals.
Okay. In response, I will say, "Hey, nice to meet you. Didn't know it was yours. I'm surprised you want to be this near it. 'Cause it seems to want to eat you up."
I thought it was a fucking genie too, but I didn't think you'd go for it.
She says, "I have no choice, master. I am bound to the bottle." And even though she's floating in the air, she somehow kneels before you.
Oh. Okay, racking my brain for genie stuff. How many wishes do I get? And am I obligated to use the last one to free you?
I think we're gonna find out next time, because you have succeeded in this quest, but now you have a whole genie situation to worry about.
Oh, it's gonna be a whole thing, huh?
It sure is. It sure is gonna be a whole thing. I was so curious who would end up with the bottle and who would end up with the Hedron, and you have the bottle and the Hedron
honestly,
is destroyed.
I'm so glad I took back the fucking lamp. Genie, look, if it's gonna be bad chaos, a genie's fun kind of bad chaos.
I'm hoping so. Oh, and then you have to worry about the Cymbeline siblings. The whole, season's good. I'm sorry, it's just really good.
We don't need to worry about them for long.
All right, I'm ready to desync.